Yonu lazman hazeh, Yonu v'kimonu v'higiyonu lazman hazeh, Shechiyonu v'higiyonu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam shechiyonu v'kimonu v'higiyonu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam shechiyonu v'kimonu v'higiyonu lazman hazeh. Shechiyonu v'kimonu v'higiyonu lazman hazeh. For this group, this is the first time this group is in here. Some of you snuck in Shavuos night. But it's the first time for you, right? Miller. Who else? Nachman, it's the first time for you. Finally, Nachman Seltzer's here. I did. I chepped you. Is that Shlomi Klein? I recognize the beard. I don't know. Wow. Where's my emails here? Just one. One of them fell out on the way. Great. Lucky you. So today, excuse me, it's a big record for me. 3 shiurim on 3 daf within 10 hours. Last night we did daf pei daled, pei hey, and today's daf pei vav. And we have Akiva Solway and his father. Akiva was mamish every single day on Zoom. Tremendous chus. He's not even bar mitzvah yet, and every single day. Yesterday we had, what's his name? Ben Ishchai, David. Also a 15-year-old boy. David. Yeah, David. Oh! You're old. So here's an email. L'kavod Reb Eli Shlita, I would like to thank you for your amazing setting and clear shir. I downloaded the app after seeing it advertised at the beginning of brachas. I listened to the full daf on and off, but since the quarantine, I've been listening to Zoom daily. And it really is great, even though I say numerous shiurim a day. You see what's going on here? He gives numerous shiurim a day.
He gives, he said?
Yeah. I say, even though I say numerous shiurim a day, when I sit down to the daf at midnight, the invigorating shir is really good to keep me up, especially the interludes every once in a while. He appreciates the interludes. I just wanted to know how to access the Zoom on the phone without internet. The info says the password is MDY, but I want to know the numeric password on the phone. I have no idea what he's talking about. Thank you again. You understand what he's talking about?
Yes. Yes, you need a number password.
You need a number password. Okay, ask Yeshua and he'll tell you. It's in the link. But I don't know if he has links. I don't know what this guy has and doesn't have. He gives numerous shiurim and he listens to it on a phone. So I don't know that he has links. Whatever. Say it. Thank you again for the shir. By the way, the mask was excellent. Going back to the mask, I thought that was terrible, but okay. And my daughters insist on listening to the emails every day and make sure I don't miss a day of Yomi.
Listen, this is a number.
This is the number, a boy side. Password. 762
870.
870.
When did that come?
Today is Daf Pei Vav, and there's a famous mashal or saying by the Magid. I don't know, one of the Magidim. Rachamim is in the house, big schos. I haven't seen him on Zoom. I missed you for 2 months. So now, but I saw you last night. But now that you're here, it's a tremendous bemis. It's mechazik. I thought, we lost a couple guys here and there. So we gained you. You became more of a kavua, Rabbi Miller. And you're going to continue from today on, or for last night on. But you were there. All right, so one of the Magidim says that when you go to a chasana, it's very obvious who the kala is. She's wearing that white gown and nobody else is, and that's the kala. But who's the chasan? Who's the chasan? The chasan is the guy that takes the kala home after the chasana. That's very obvious. So Mela, when it comes to Shavuos, it's the same thing. We know what the kala is. It's the Torah. But who's the chasan? It's the one who takes the Torah home. So we are Matzi Shavuos, and now you missed the song, Reb Judah. Nachman had to step in instead of you, but it's okay. Hashem Elokeinu melech olam shechiyonu. Yeah, all the way to that bottle.
Sorry.
He's right. We gotta keep social distancing. So what's interesting is that today, Daf Vav starts a whole sugya about Shavuos. And maybe it's designed on purpose like that. Not maybe, it is designed on purpose like that. We don't need the excitement of Shavuos. That's great. What happens after Shavuos? We got to keep that excitement up. So here we go. Says the Mishnah. We're continuing with the theme of how do we know certain things, and the Mishnah gives us an asmachta. Almost raya, it's not a solid raya, but it's a nice hint from the Torah. Now, if a man is poilet zera, what does he do? He goes to the mikvah right away, and he's tar that night. But how do you know that a woman who had relations and emits zera from the relation, how do you know that even 3 days later, it's as if it's fresh and she's mikabel tumah, she becomes tamei. Not mikabel tumah, she is tmeya. In other words, how do you know that the zera is viable, that's good zera? Because look at the word, shichvas zera, it has to be mazriya, it has to be ra'ui lazriya, it has to be viable. So how do you know that 3 days later is viable? Shenemar, heyu nechoinim l'shloishes yomim. So we know by Matan Torah, you had to separate from your wife. Why? So that the women should be tar by Matan Torah, not the men. The men don't have a problem. They could go to the mikvah, they're tar that day. Why 3 days before? So that all women, even if they had a plita zera, 3 days in advance, they would be tar. Question. When did this happen? Before Matan Torah. So what kind of tumah is there before Matan Torah? There's no Torah yet. Tumah only happens after Torah. So Taisus says beautifully. Taisus says that the Torah has to be given be'emo, be'yiro, be'reses u'zeya, with trepidation. Keri comes from, what's the word? Leitzanos, like kalas roish. Kalas roish. We had in Masechtas Brachas, if you remember, from all the tumas, a person that's a zava, they can learn Torah about carrying out. Why? Because of this idea of kalas roish. You don't learn Torah about kalas roish. If you look at the last words of Taisus, the first Taisus, the balkari eina be'ema u'biyiro, the machmas kalas roish u'ba. Okay. Says the Mishnah, so finally, after all the tumas and plita zera and all these things that have nothing to do with Masechta Shabbos, here comes the idea of why we brought all these Mishnayos. Seven ideas before we got to the number 7. Now we come to the Hilchas Shabbos. How do I know that a baby 3 days after its Milah, you could boil up water on Shabbos? In those days, it was a thing. Today, it's not a thing, so you don't do it. You're not machal Shabbos for hot water. But in those days, it was important for the baby to have hot water. Bathe them in hot water. Even on the 3rd day. Shechalis b'Shabbos. On Shabbos, you're allowed to boil up hot water. Shenemar v'ayi b'yom hashlishi b'yosim koyavim. In Shechem, Shimon and Levi destroyed Shechem on the 3rd day. Even on the 3rd day, there's still, some people say it's even worse. 3rd day is like they're really weak, or even on the 3rd day, but not on the 4th day. 3rd day, they're still part of the Milah. And that's how you see. It's a remez. Again, it's a remez that the 3rd day is still part of the Milah, and you could heat up water. The sound is a little off. So, on Yom Kippur, there's 2 goats. One you throw off the cliff. The one you throw off the cliff, you take a red band, you tie it around its neck. Another one you put on a stone by the cliff, and you chuck it off the cliff. As it's falling, you could look at the band and you'll see that it'll change colors from red to white. That says the Klal Yisrael had a kapara. How do you know? Shneemar im yu chatoeichem kashanim, if your sins are like shanim, like red, kashel galbino, they'll turn white. It's a pasuk in Tehillim, right? But it's nevertheless, it's a. Hold on. What? Oh, it's Yeshaya? Yeah, Yeshaya, okay. Thanks. It's in Yeshaya. Yeah, you're right. Fine. It's a remez. Minayin l'sicha, it says in Smachta. Minayin l'sicha shehi kishtiya b'yom HaKippurim. We know on Yom Kippur you're not allowed to do 5 things. Eating, drinking, sicha is one of them. Washing, anointing yourself with oil. How do you know that's like drinking? Av pishin rayel davar, zeichel davar. Shenemar v'tovay kamayim b'kirboy v'chashemim b'atzmoisav. This must be Tehillim. Yeah, this is Tehillim. So it says in the pasuk that mayim, like shemen, so just like you can't drink, over there it's talking about water on the body, but shemen on the body, fine. It's all the same. It's also to do on Yom Kippur. Yeah, you're not going to get misa for it, but it's also. Says the Gemara. Reisha deloy Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah. The beginning of the Mishnah that talks about plita zera of 3 days, that for 3 days she's tamei, is not like Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah, which we're going to see in a moment, who he says it's only 2 days, not 3 days. The problem is Seifa Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah. The Seifa does go like Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah. So you have an anonymous Mishnah, doesn't mention any names here, and says 2 halachas. One goes like Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah. When it comes to Milah, you're allowed to boil up water 3 days in advance. Shalom Aleichem, Rabbi Factor. You were also on Zoom every single day. I don't think you missed a day. Did you miss a day? You did. Okay, a day. How many? 2 days out of the entire. You hear this? And I noticed. How old are you? 15 years old. Unbelievable. Another 15-year-old. I'm proud of these kids. They're going through Masechta Shabbos, plugging away during quarantine, during Corona, and he missed 2 days out of, 75 days, I think it was? 2 out of 75. Amazing. Halavai on everybody like that. Akoparim says like this. So you have a mission that has 2 halachas. Now what do? You have a problem. The Reisha does not go like him, and the Sefer does go like him. What do? Is that a problem? Not a problem. Says the Gemara. The Tayr Shmanalei. Mandeloi Moikim Kitanoi Tana Reisha Tayru Michael Kula Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah. If you have a big issue, if you hold like an Amoyer that says you cannot put both. What's going on here? Is that my phone or your phone? You cannot make one Mishnah into 2 different Manda Amrim. So if you can't do that, then you have to say the whole Mishnah goes to like Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah. But Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah says that on the 3rd day she's already tar. The zera doesn't stay viable for 3 days, only for 2 days. So therefore, I have to switch around the reisha. I really have to make a dchak, a doichak, and put in a word I don't want to put in there, and take out a word, instead of saying the first few words of the Mishnah. I have to stick in tahira. I literally have to, a 180, because it can't be tmeya, because according to Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah, it's not tmeya, it's tahira on the 3rd day. And I cannot switch around the Mishnah. I can't say the beginning goes like Reb Meir and the end goes like Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah. The whole thing has to be consistent. Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah through and through. But if I don't have an issue, if I'm an Amoira who holds, Rabbi Yochanan has a big issue with that. But if you're not Rabbi Yochanan and say, look, the Mishnah could go according to 2 different shitas. The beginning of the Mishnah went according to one, then I make a stop, I pretend it never happened, then I talk about another Amoira, Tana, then it's fine. Reish Rabbanon, B'Sevik, Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah. Fine. Torah Rabbanon. Poilete Shichva Zera B'Yom HaShlishi Tahira. Direi Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah. So this is the Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah that we just said. Either the Reisha goes like him, doesn't go like him, but he holds. So he holds like this. Here's the calendar. Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah holds, there's only 2 options here, or 3 options, but there's 2 main ideas that we're going to discuss. Does it go by a calendar day? The Torah seems like it goes by a calendar day. Yom HaShlishi. Doesn't talk about anything else but a day, a calendar day. But there's also something called an Aina. An Aina is a night, 12 hours or whatever it is, and a day. A night and a day, a night and a day. So we're going to see there's a Manda Omar that says you need 6 oinois to be tar. So you have to abstain from your husband 6 full oinois, night, day, night, day, night, day. Or, we're learning right now, this shita. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says it could be as few as 2 oinois. Why? Because the Torah says, well, that didn't sound good. Either they had relations at this blue line right over here. So from here all the way to Shabbos, the Torah was given on Shabbos. That nobody argues. Torah was given on Shabbos. Shavuos, which was 2 days ago, was on Shabbos. So if relations here, so you have 4 oinois. Black, white equals 4. When is this? This is Wednesday night, what we call Wednesday night, but it's in Thursday. In the Torah, Wednesday night after Shkia is already Thursday. So it happened all the way in the beginning of Thursday, and therefore I have full 4 oinois. From Shkia Wednesday night, which is Thursday, the night, the day, the night, the day, and what happens after Friday Shkia? Right over here Shkia. There's a share for you at 9:15. What are you doing here, Josh? Okay, you can come twice. So here's Shabbos, right? Here's Lil Shabbos. When do you go to Shul Friday night? Right after when there's no more light. So at the end of this guy becomes Shabbos. So I have 4 full oinois. Or relations happened all the way at the tail end of Thursday, but it's still part of Thursday. Meaning, right before Shkia on Thursday night, and then there's only 2 oinois until Shabbos. But that's fine. It's either 4, 3, or 2. Minimum 2, maximum 4. Yeah? Rabbi Miller, you okay? Nachamal?
Yeah.
Explain it again. It all depends when relations happened. If the relationship happened at the beginning of Thursday, meaning Wednesday night, so from Thursday till Shabbos is 4 12-hour periods. No, I didn't say 6. I'm not holding there. No, we don't know anything yet. I just said there is a Manda Omar that says 6. Adarabah, according to this Manda Omar, you could even have 2 oinois, 24-hour period, and the woman is tar. Why? Because it has nothing to do with 24. It has to do with the days. Now, if you go all the way at the last second, the tail end of Thursday, from the tail end of Thursday to the beginning of Shabbos is how many hours? 24. The last millisecond of Thursday night, of Thursday, which is Friday evening, till Shabbos is 24 hours. From this blue line until Shabbos is 24-hour period. 2 oinois. So it could be as few as 2 oinois. It's not 3. It's all the way at the end. You see the blue line? It's at the end. The end of Thursday. Or it's all the way in the beginning of Thursday, 24 hours before that. In other words, the beginning all the way at Wednesday, Wednesday night. Wednesday night, what we call Wednesday night by Shkia, is really Thursday. Yeah? You make a bar mitzvah, you say, you're invited to my son's bar mitzvah, which is Thursday. Lel Chamishi. It's really Wednesday night. Wednesday night, after Shkia, is already Thursday, which is the beginning of Thursday. From the beginning of Thursday to the beginning of Shabbos is 48 hours. So you have 4 oinois. You could either have 4 oinois or 2 oinois. Depends when the relationship happened. If the relationship happened there, is 4. If the relationship happened all the way at the end of Thursday, it's 2. Very simple, right?
Why is it 3 days though?
Oh, that's something else. We're not talking about that. Talking about on the 3rd day. If you bing it, it's not going to help. It's not working? I have another one at home. You want to switch this with that? It's not really, By Yom HaShlishi, on the 3rd day, it doesn't say 3 days. It says on the 3rd day. What's the 3rd day? Shabbos. You have 1 Thursday, 2 Friday, 3 Shabbos. By Yom HaShlishi, he says. By Yom HaShlishi, again, Reb Shmuel also agrees that we're dealing with days and not with oinois. Pa'amim shem dalet oynois. Pa'amim shem chamesh oynois. Pa'amim shem sheish oynois. Why? Because look, he says it's this day. But it depends. If you start over here, so until you get to Shabbos, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you were over here, this is where the relations happen. Now you take this off, so it's only 5. And if the relations were all at the end, then it's only 4. So sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 5, and sometimes it's 6. All within this day, you could have relations in 3 parts of the day. All the way in the beginning, smack in the middle, which is the beginning of the daytime, or all the way in, which is the beginning of the nighttime for here. It could be here, here, and here. And depending on where the relations are, this means there's 6 full ones, over here means there's 5 full ones, and over here that means there's 4 full ones. Zehu zeh. It's not that difficult.
Who decides when's the latest you're allowed to have a
You guys are the most difficult group, by the way. Yeah.
No, your chart is simple, but not. It's the halacha. You're doing my job.
No.
Every person decides on their own.
No. We have machlokes here. According to Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah, it could be 4, or minimum 2, maximum 4. According to Rabbi Shmuel, it could be 4, 5, 6, because he adds another day. Why does he add another day? We're going to see soon. But if you add another day, that adds 2 more aynos to Rabbi Shmuel to Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah's 4 aynos. If he says 4, then he's going to say 6 because he has another day. Rebbe Kiva Omer La'olam Chamesh. Comes Rebbe Kiva and says it's nothing to do with days. It has to do with hours. I need 5 aynos. How much is 5 times 12? 60. No matter what, there's going to be 60 hours. So I don't care when relationship happened. The 60 hours later, that's when she's tar. Anything before that, she could become tamei. If there's a plita zera within those 60 hours, she's tamei. If plita zera happened 61 hours later, tar. 60, nothing to do with days, nothing to do with aynos. To do with aynos, exactly 60 hours. 5 aynos times 12, or whatever you want to call it, is 60 hours. And the Gemara is going to explain where he got that from. And what if the relationship happened, I don't know, somewhere in this black box over here? So the 60 hours start from that point. It's 60 hours from that point on. So you have to dip into the 6th hour, to the 6th oyna. In other words, it's 60 hours on the dot. Anything past 60, plita zera, not viable. Anything before, tamei. Everything makes sense besides Rebbe Kiva. Why? Because it goes by days. So either you had to separate from your wife 2 days before Shabbos or 3 days before Shabbos. But where do you come up with 60 hours? What's 60? Where was the Prisha? Where did they separate? On Thursday. Okay. And if you go 1 day earlier on Wednesday, now I just added 2 aynos. So instead of having 4, now I have 6. So everything makes sense. Depends on the day. Rebbe Kiva come on. Where did Rebbe Kiva come up with the number 60? 60 hours. Where in the Torah does it say hours? Says the Gemara, Rebbe Kiva holds like Rebbe Yosi that everybody separated from their wives on Wednesday. So why does he say 60 hours? If Moshe Rabbeinu came down from the mountain in the morning time, right over here at this red line, and he spoke to Klal Yisrael right here, so he has 5 aynos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is when he came down from the mountain. He didn't come down in the middle of the night. Moshe Rabbeinu always came down at daybreak. Where's daybreak on this picture? On Wednesday by daybreak, right by this line. So from this line, from daybreak until Shabbos, is 5 aynos. 5 aynos equals 60 hours. That's how he got it from. What? It's in the drawer. You know that I have that thing, not the opposite side of the wine, in the drawer. Until you get it, until this, the shir is going to be over. You don't know him. He'll be back here in 2 minutes. I said it with Dafka. He's running now. All right. How do I know that Moshe Rabbeinu always went out up into Shamayim at daybreak? Vayal el Har Sinai. Okay, Vayashkem Moshe Rabbeinu. He got up in the morning, early in the morning. Vayal Bashkoma Yorad. And how do I know he always came down, descended from Shamayim in the morning? The Chsiv Lech Reid Valiso Atav Aron Imoch. Makish you read the La'aliyah. This is a Hekish Ma'aliyah Bashkoma. If you read the Bashkoma, great. Ask the Gemara. Lama Leila Meimer Lahu. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu have to tell Klai Yisrael in the morning? What was his rush? Why did he have to say, Rabbi, so let's get together quickly, I have a big halacha to tell you. Separate from your wives. When? Right over here. He couldn't have waited until the evening. Why? Because we learned in Masechtas Brachas also, Yisrael have a special kedusha. There's no relations during the daytime. So, very important to point out here that this is before Matan Torah. Again, Tosfos' question. Before Matan Torah, maybe they didn't have this kedusha. Says Tosfos that they did. Why? Because as the Gemara explains in Masechtas Brachas, that the whole point of this halacha is that a person shouldn't see a davar megun in his wife. So they had derech eretz, nothing to do with the Torah. They didn't want to look down at their wives. They didn't want to see chesroinus in their wife. So in Mela, they didn't use light. Light wasn't good for them. Or Tosfos says that they did have the tzivoy, like we're going to see soon, or tomorrow, about temtiuli mamleches kohanim v'goy kadosh. Yes, there's no Torah, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted them to be b'kedusha. Concept of kedusha. So what was the rush during the daytime? Omar Rava, im hoya bayis afel mutar. There is a way around it. A dark house. So then you don't have the problem of binol mechavera. It's a question of binol mechavera. You don't have a binol mechavera if it's dark. There's different ways. There's a talus, there's a dark house. Bekitzer, it's possible. So you had to warn them, no tricks here, no bayis afel, and because the Torah is going to be given on Shabbos. Daf Pevav Amud Beis. V'ha Tvulei Yom Ninu. Ask the Gemara, and this question goes according to everybody, says Rashi. Tvulei Yom. You have even a Balkari. A Balkari who has an emission, goes to the mikvah, but he doesn't become tar until evening. The evening is what completes the whole cycle of tahara. He's semi-tar, but if he touches truma, tame, you need nighttime. When did these women go to the mikvah? Friday night. When did they become completely tar? The following night. You need a nighttime. You need the sun to go down. If you go to the mikvah at night, there's no sundown until 24 hours from now. When was Matan Torah? Shabbos morning. So it comes out that whoever went to the mikvah Friday night wasn't completely tar when the Torah was given, Shabbos morning. Yeah? How could HaKadosh Baruch Hu give the Torah on Shabbos? They weren't completely tar. There's still Tvul Yom. There's still semi-tamei. Says the Gemara, a major concept. Abaye Barovin, V'Rav Chanina Barovin, the Amrit Harvayu, everybody agrees. Nitna Torah l'Tvulei Yom. What's going on in Zoom? You guys hear me or no? It's a little shvach. It's okay. I see some hands. Something's going on.
The sound is terrible.
On Zoom is terrible, or on everything it's terrible? Did you say the shear is terrible? What did you say?
The sound just got better right now.
Is that our camera? Your camera? You just moved the camera?
No, you just press the...
Was it like that the entire shear?
No.
Okay. Gary is like flinging things around. You have to see it live to understand what's going on. He's frustrated with the sound. He's chucking things. Also, the air conditioner is like we like it now. Baruch Hashem. I didn't ask you it's good temperature. What is it on? He doesn't want to tell me. He doesn't want to tell me. You see that? What is it on?
21.
That's what it's supposed to be. Right? You guys are comfortable, no? Fine.
It's rock warm, it's good.
Really? You want warmer?
No.
You should have been here last night. Anyway. Fine. So you hear what everybody says. Abaye Barovin, Virav Chanina Barovin. Seems like they were brothers, unless.
No, Ravin and Oven.
Yeah.
Ravin?
No.
Are they brothers?
Ah, you're right. Yeah, but they're not Gairis that. The Gairis over here. What?
Right on the side, both of them.
They're both oven. You see? Agais v'tziyonim.
This is Machlokes if they're brothers.
Right. Anyway, so it says over here that it doesn't matter. Even if you're a Tful Yoim, you're semi-Tamei, HaKadosh Baruch Hu give the Torah. It doesn't hurt giving the Torah. Yet, the Gemara, it's very interesting. The Gemara doesn't take that for granted. The Gemara says, okay, and the Gemara is masking. You see throughout the Sugya, we're pretty much masking to this idea, at least for now, that Torah can be given in a state of Tful Yoim Tumah. I still want to know, was there a single person in Klal Yisrael that had to rely on this kula? In other words, I'm going to tell you that everybody went to the mikvah, all the women, all the men, everybody went to the mikvah Friday morning, during the daytime. So that when Friday evening came, that was already the end of Tful Yom. Everybody's completely 100% tar. But it's still possible that they had a plita zera on Friday evening, which would require them to go to the mikvah again Friday evening. I want to know, did that happen? Was there a single woman in all of Klal Yisrael that had to go to the mikvah Friday night? And Memela, the Torah was given in a state of Tful Yom Tumah for that one person. Yes or no? Answer the question. So he says, Omalei ru'uya kamina. I just said it's possible and HaKadosh Baruch Hu could have given it, but in fact it never happened. Everybody was completely 100% tar. End the story. Why is that important? I don't know. It just happens to be that's what happened, he said. I guess it is important. We want to know whether or not there's one single Jew that was semi-tamei, and the answer is no. Ask the Gemara, according to Rebbe Kiva, this question is according to Rebbe Kiva, that says this 5 oinos is 60 hours. V'litbelu beinei shimshei, v'likablu Torah beinei shimshei. So first of all, as a side note, what's bein hashmashas? Every night has bein hashmashas. Says Rashi, no. Bein hashmashas is Friday. Yes, every night has it. But we don't call bein hashmashas only Friday night. Why? Because that's where all the halachic problems happen, on Friday night. Okay. Ask the Gemara, V'litbelu bein hashimsha, v'likablu Torah bein hashimsha. According to you, we already have 60 hours in our pocket. So why do we have to wait until tomorrow morning? What's the problem? That they're all tamei, Tful Yom. Well, the Torah can be given as a Tful Yom. So what's the delay? I'm just realizing now, according to a beautiful Taisus that we're going to see in a second, the question makes a lot of sense now. The Torah should be given earlier, at night. Why delay it to the morning? Omer Yitzchak, no. You don't give the Torah at nighttime. Lo meroish b'seiser dibarti. I'm not giving the Torah in a secret, and then all the nations are going to say, it didn't happen, it did happen. I'm giving it bereish gale, in front of everybody, in the middle of the day, when the sun is out, everybody could, and nobody has excuses. Oh, if I would have known, I would have accepted the Torah. You saw the Torah was given, you could have accepted upon yourself. You decided not to take it, fine. But if it was given at night, everybody's going to have complaints. Oh, I didn't know, fine. Ask the Gemara, v'litbelu b'tzafra d'shapso. So this, again, is going according to Rebbe Kiva. So why can't they be toivel? Why do they have to be toivel on Friday night? Let them be toivel Shabbos morning. What's the problem that they don't become completely tar until the evening? That's okay. Tful Yom is okay as long as they went to the mikvah. So therefore, the question is, why did they have to separate, according to Rebbe Kiva, why did they have to separate over here in the beginning of daytime in order to achieve 60 hours? You could have separated right before nightfall, and you still achieve 60 hours by going all the way into Shabbos morning. You need 60 hours? Great, I'll give you 60 hours. Instead of going to the mikveh Friday night, go to the mikveh 12 hours later, and you'll have your 60 hours like that. And there's no problem going to the mikveh Shabbos morning. What does the Gemara say? Look at this. Tell me what you think pshat is here. Omer Yitzchak, shlo yiu halalu holchim lekabel Torah v'halalu holchim letvila. Simple words. What's the simple pshat? Doesn't make sense that these Yidden are going with the towels. You know, Shabbos morning, the guys with the towels. They're running to the mikveh, guy into mikveh, and these guys are going, they made a right turn, they're going to Kabbalah Torah. Avi Geiste, Kabbalah Torah. Avi Geiste, mikveh. It doesn't work. It's not nice. These guys, everybody's going, we're going to Kabbalah Torah. It's a once in a lifetime, and he's going to the mikveh Nebuch. He has to go because he's a Tful Yom. He's a Balkari. That's Pashup Pshat. Tosfos says better, I think. Tosfos says beautifully, and it's an unbelievable Yesod, he says. You got to see this inside.
A lot of people think going to mikveh is not Kabbalah.
But you're doing it every day. That you do every day. Over here, it's once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime. You're not going to believe this. I hope, whatever. My son-in-law just moved out of an apartment, and he went back to get some stuff, and the Baldira shows him. So my son-in-law had all the stuff in a machsan, in a storage facility. So he says, I want to show you something. He takes him to the storage facility that's in the underground parking, and he shows him, I built a mikveh. Here's a brand new, beautiful mikveh. My son-in-law says it's gorgeous. Why? Because he can't go to the mikveh. It's quarantine. So he built a mikveh during quarantine in his parking spot. Go figure, these Americanish people over there, and I'm not going to say where. You know, next to the mirror in that neighborhood over there. I'll go upon him. He has to go to mikveh. What do you mean? He has to go to mikveh. So, we also built a mikveh. You guys know, I told you, we built a mikveh in our house in Kensington. I don't know did I say during Shir or during Zoom? Not that one. That one is not going to work. Oh, yeah, maybe that one. Give me that little guy. Yeah, that little guy is going to work. But you took that from the Machsan. I told you to go to, okay, whatever. Fine. Zog the Gemara. Says Tosfos beautifully. Says Tosfos, if they go to the mikveh, how long does it take to go to the mikveh? It takes 5-10 minutes. So they're going to push off Kabbalah's Torah by 5-10 minutes. And what's the problem? What's the problem if you push off? What does everybody guess? So what if you push off Kabbalah's Torah for 5-10 minutes? So you probably think it's not proper. Look at the last words of Tosfos Dibra Maskil Omar Rabbi Yitzchak. You're not going to believe this. Aval bayoim im hayu ma'achir machid v'lu kulam hayu mizbatle mitamut Torah. It's bittul tamut Torah. Not because Rebbeinu Shalom is waiting with his Torah to give it to Klal Yisrael. It's going to be 5 minutes late. No, that's not the problem. The problem is he could have given it at 6 in the morning, and now he gave it at 6:05. The whole Klal Yisrael for generations. You can never make those 5 minutes up of Torah. There's 5 minutes of Torah missing in the history of Klal Yisrael. Bittul Torah. Unbelievable. The idea of Bittul Torah. Right here. So anyways, that's the pshat. I can't have people going to the mikveh in the morning because of Bittul Torah. Let them go Friday night, and everybody's going to come together to Kabbalah Torah, nice and early at the earliest moment, and then that's it. Zog the Gemara. Correct. But the women are going to hold up the men. If the women are not there, we can't give the Torah. Everybody was there. Kabbalah Torah. This is all good according to them. So Chachamim hold like Rabbi Yossi. Kabbalah said there was an extra day right over here on Wednesday. But they hold, I don't care, we need, not like Rabbi Kiva, 60 hours, I need 72 hours. 6 full, 72 hours. So if a woman had relations, whenever it was, she could be Poilet Zera and be Metama herself within 72 hours. 72 hours is already the cutoff point. Omer Rav Chizda Machloikis Pirshu Minei Isha. Aval Pirshu Minei Ish Tmeyo Kozman Shile Lacho. In other words, if the zera is on clothing, says Rashi, then as long as it's moist, it's still viable and it's still metama. Maser Rav Sheishes. Now, I'm not going to say Tosfos now, but if you want a real shock factor, look in Tosfos Der Maskil Aval Pirshu Minei Ish. Maser Rav Sheishes all the way at the end of Tosfos. Maser Rav Sheishes v'chol beged v'chol or, because Tosfos has a major kasha. It's a mefurish Mishnah. Like, what's the big chiddush he's saying here? Rav Chizda is mechadish a Mishnah. So he says it's talking about a crazy, wild case. Ayin in Tosfos. Maser Rav Sheishes v'chol beged v'chol or asher yiyal of shichva zera. Prat l'shichva zera sheisrucha. So l'chayra I'm memayir from the pasuk. Shichva zera, that's not viable anymore. My love, sheper shemin ish. And so who cares if it's moist, if it's masriach, it's not viable. Says the Gemara, loy shepersha min isha. That pasuk is a miyut only when it comes out of a woman, but when it comes out of a man, if it's moist, it's metama. Boy rapapa shichvazer sheyisrael b'mei nachris mahu. Is there a difference between shichvazer that comes out of a Jew versus a goy, out of a human being versus an animal? What's the difference? Now, how did it get to a goy? Some sort of isser happened, some sort of crazy thing. Yisrael did the igi b'mitzvah is chava gufay. You hear this idea? Jews who are constantly worried about mitzvahs, they have stress. Think about like a lot, not in my family, but like Friday afternoon, is the chont up and the this and the sponja? That causes anxiety. And anxiety and stress cause the body to act differently than a non-Jew, in a bad way. It's interesting because in Avodah Zarah we had the same idea, but in the reverse almost. Not the reverse, the same concept. That goyim are not mushpa, the Gemara says over there, from mayim megulim. Their body is stronger. They eat shrotzim. So the shrotzim destroy whatever you have in the mayim megulim. That's what the Gemara over there wanted to tie now. Akum, the le'di'igi b'mitzvahs, you see it says akum over here. It's probably the censor. The le'di'igi b'mitzvahs, loy. Or perhaps the fact that they eat all these shellfish and all these crazy stuff, it causes what? Bats. Very good. They eat bats in China. Their body acts different. Their body acts different. And therefore, what Jewish women have from stressing out because of Shabbos and all the mitzvahs that they have to keep, Pesach cleaning, they start cleaning from Hanukkah, from the stress. So the Goyim, they get that, whatever it is, from the Shkotzim Ramos. Great. What about an animal? It doesn't have any stress. As long as it has its grass, it's great. Says Gemara, no. Isha this leproizdar masrachas. A woman who has a canal, so the canal traps in whatever's there. No, Rashi explains you can't introduce oxygen to it, and therefore it gets destroyed. Of behemoth leproizdar, for whatever reason, an animal doesn't have this canal, loy, so air is introduced and it could destroy it without 3 days. Oidilma loishna. Teiko. I mean, this is a crazy question. You're talking about human zera in an animal. Think about the situation. A person was forced, we're not talking about how it happened. We're just talking halachically. Tameh or not tameh? Tana Rabbanan. Vashishi b'chodesh nitnu aser sadibros l'Yisrael. Matan Torah, the whole Torah is included in the aser sadibros. It was given on the 6th day of Sivan, according to Chachamim. Rabbi Yossi Omer b'shiva on the 7th day. Now, there's no real machlokes what day it happened. Everybody agrees. Everybody agrees that the Torah was given on Shabbos, and everybody agrees that they came to the Midbar on Rosh Chodesh. They came from Refidim, Shalom Aleichem. They showed up in the desert on Rosh Chodesh Sivan. How do I know? Ksiv hacha bayom hazeh bo Midbar Sinai. Uksiv hacha b'chodesh hazeh lochem Rosh Chodashim. HaChodesh hazeh, Nisan, HaChodesh hazeh, Ma'al al Rosh Chodesh, Afkan Rosh Chodesh. What they call it, b'Shabbos nidnu Torah l'Yisrael. Everybody agrees the Torah is given on Shabbos. Ksiv hacha zochers yom HaShabbos l'katshoy. Zochers yom HaShabbos, in the Sefer Sadiv, zochers yom HaShabbos l'katshoy. Uksiv hasam, vayom Moshe la'am, zochers yom hazeh. What's hasam? By Yitzias Mitzrayim. Moshe Rabbeinu tells Klal Yisrael, remember this day that you came out of Mitzrayim. When the Yitzias Mitzrayim happened? In midday. And he's talking about today. Remember about today. So too, when I say Zochar Yom Shabbos, it's not on Tuesday, I'm telling you, remember Shabbos. It's today. Just like I'm telling you by Yitzias Mitzrayim today, remember what happened today. So too, by Shabbos, I'm saying Zochar Yom Shabbos, remember what happened today. Remember today's Shabbos. And I am on Shabbos. We need to know, when did this Rosh Chodesh happen? Yes, they came into the Midbar Rosh Chodesh. But when? On Sunday or Monday? Yeah, because you can make, we know, you could be kovei a Chodesh on the 31st. So, Rabbi Yossi holds that Rosh Chodesh happened on Sunday. And on Sunday, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't say anything. In other words, he didn't tell them the commandments of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He did tell them, we'll see later tomorrow, that he said, by the way, this schar and oynish, blah, 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 but nothing to do with what HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him to tell them. Right? Because they were too tired. And on Monday, he started to say, listen, you have to be kadosh. Bitlasa on Tuesday, withholding Daf Pezayin Omid Aleph. On Tuesday, he said, listen, do not go next to Har Sinai. Whoever touches the mountain is going to die. Barba Ovid Prisha. And on Wednesday, like we had over here, Wednesday is when they separated from their wives. On the second day, Nachman, you want to say Tehillim? Grab Tehillim, say Tehillim. It was on Monday, not on Sunday. B'kitzur, it's the same exact thing, pushed off by a day. Because they just traveled on Monday, you couldn't say anything to them. Minus the fact that there's schar v'oinish. So on Tuesday he said vatim tili. And on Wednesday he told them, don't go next to the mountain. Only on Thursday they separated from their wives. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Welcome back to the Olam. Hopefully the Olam should really daven. We should say to him and have this in mind, that Corona should not spread like they are saying it's spreading now in Eretz Yisrael like crazy. In one school, 100 people got infected. Not a religious school, in the gymnasium in Jerusalem. And we don't know how many hundreds of people got infected on Shabbos. A lot of new cases. And they're talking about already starting to be more restrictive. So let's be careful. Let's hope it remains like this. And have a wonderful day. Yankee Kraus, Shalom Aleichem. Go. Shir Ma'alois, Me'amakim Chosicha Adonai. There's no battery. Adonai Shema B'Koili, Tino Zdach Yeshavos Dekol Dachonoi. Yo, it's Shmo Yo Adonai Mi'amoid. Ki Nechaz L'chol L'man Tivarei. Visi Adonai Kivson Namshiv L'dvorei Yecholti. Nafshi L'Adonai Mishoyim L'Boiker, Shomrim L'Boiker. Nafshi L'Adonai Shomrim L'Boiker, Shomrim L'Boiker. Echel Yisrael L'Adonai, Ki M'Adonai HaChesed V'Arbei Mo'Fidu. Echel Yisrael L'Adonai, Ki M'Adonai HaChesed V'Arbei Mo'Fidu. V'hu Yifteres Yisrael B'Kol Avoy Nosov. V'hu Yifteres Yisrael B'Kol Avoy Nosov. V'Achin Yikol B'Yisrael